There's a power sitting inside you that you haven't even been introduced to yet. It's not hustle, it's not grind. It's a live wire under your skin. Dangerous, concentrated potential untouched. Volatile, just waiting for a man with enough discipline to channel it on purpose instead of releasing it on impulse. And this isn't poetry, this is biology, psychology, and spirituality, all wired around one thing: your sexual energy. Most men never meet this version of themselves. They meet their distractions. They meet their cravings. They meet their guilt after they relieve the pressure for the 100th time. But the power behind that pressure? They never learn how to sit with it long enough to see what it can turn them into. Tonight, I want you to imagine something. What if every time you felt that urge hit, instead of losing time, losing focus, and losing respect for yourself, you gained something? A new page written, a new PR in the gym, a new skill learned, a new bag secured. Same energy, different direction. That right there is sexual transmutation. Not some abstract buzzword, not some no-fap cult bullshit. It's simply this: taking the raw energy that wants to rush out of you and rerouting it into building your body, your money, your purpose, and your soul. And 3 men understood this on a deep level, even if they didn't all call it by that name. One of them studied wealthy men. One survived hell on earth. One mapped the human soul. Let's break down the 3 components they all point toward, so the next time that live wire wakes up inside you, you don't run from it. You ride it. Component 1. Holding your seed. The first step is the simplest to understand and the hardest to accomplish. You have to learn how to hold the seed. Napoleon Hill interviewed hundreds of high-performing men, industrialists, inventors, entrepreneurs, and he noticed something most people were too polite to talk about. The men with the strongest sex drives were often the ones who achieved the most, because they learned how to redirect that energy instead of constantly releasing it. He called it sex transmutation, not celibacy, not hating your body, just this: stop reflexively dumping your life force every time your nervous system gets a little uncomfortable. Think about your own patterns. You feel that familiar pressure rise in your body. Your mind starts looking for a target, a video, a page, a memory, a person. That feeling of, I need release right now, starts to take over. What Hill understood is, right there is raw usable power. The racing heartbeat, the tunnel vision, the restless focus. Those are the exact same ingredients you need to lock in on one task for 90 minutes, smash a heavy set in the gym, plan a business move, learn something complex without quitting after 5 minutes. The problem? Most men never give that energy a chance to transform. They go straight from arousal, release, regret. So the first component of sexual transmutation is this: delay, release, contain the seed. Not forever, not as a punishment, but long enough for the energy to move from below the belt to your lungs, your muscles, your brain. You do that through body-level practices. Deep breathing when the urge spikes, cold showers or cold water on your face, dropping into push-ups, squats, or a walk instead of dropping into a website. Is it comfortable? No. But neither is growth. And trust me, this shit works. And here's the part nobody tells you. The point of semen retention isn't to count days like a crypto chart. The point is to give your system a different pattern to follow. You feel the urge. You don't immediately obey. You breathe, you move. You stay with the discomfort long enough to realize, I didn't die, I didn't explode. I just found out I'm not a slave to my lower self. That's the first handshake with this power inside you. Hill's observation was simple but brutal. The men who never do this, who never learn to hold the seed, rarely build anything great because the very fuel they need is leaking out of them recklessly. So, step 1, contain the seed. Let the battery fill. Stop trading your future for 5 seconds of relief. Component 2, direct the sexual energy with a mission. But let's be real, if you just retain with no direction, you don't become enlightened. You become irritated, obsessive, angry at the world. You're just a pressurized container walking around ready to snap. That's where the second component comes in. You have to aim the energy at a mission that actually matters. Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist who survived Nazi concentration camps, wrote about something he called the will to meaning. He said humans aren't satisfied with just pleasure or comfort. Deep down, we're starving for meaning, for a reason to suffer, a reason to sacrifice, a reason to keep going when everything sucks. Your sexual energy is the loudest signal of that will. Underneath lust, underneath fantasy, there is something more primitive and pure. I want more life. I want intensity. I want connection. I want to feel alive. When you don't have a mission, that energy has only one path: cheap dopamine. But when you do have a mission, that same energy becomes rocket fuel. Frankl said we find meaning in 3 main ways: by doing a meaningful work or task, by loving deeply or experiencing something deeply, by the attitude we take towards suffering. Put that in your life. Doing, building your body, your business, your art, your mind and soul. Loving, being fully present with your kid, your partner, your family. Attitude, refusing to let your past trauma turn you into a victim. Now connect this to your urges. Next time that sexual tension rises, ask yourself, what mission am I starving to commit to right now? Maybe it's, I'm building a body I respect. I'm building financial freedom so I never have to beg for time with my family. I'm building a mind that doesn't fold the moment I'm uncomfortable. Without that, retention is just ego. With that, retention becomes devotion. Here's a simple way to lock this in: the transmutation drill. Every time you feel that pull, name the urge. I feel sexual energy rising. Not, I'm weak. Not, I'm disgusting. Just, energy is here. Name your mission out loud. I am building. Make it real, not vague, specific. Assign a task. 30 minutes of deep work, one script, one sales page, one workout. 1 hour of studying a high-income skill. Move immediately. No debate, no scrolling. Move while the energy is hot. What you're doing here is exactly what Frankl was talking about. You're taking raw drive and yoking it to meaning. The more you do this, the more your brain associates. When I'm turned on, I turn on my purpose. Not Netflix, not porn, not empty flirting, not chasing cheeks or sleeping with random women excessively, but your purpose. Now you're not just a man holding energy, you're a man aiming it. Component 3, spiritualize the desire. But there's one more layer. Miss this and you'll still feel like you're fighting yourself. You can retain, you can work harder, you can hustle on your mission, but if you never understand what this energy actually is at the deepest level, you might still feel ashamed of it, afraid of it, at war with your own body. That's where Carl Jung enters. Jung looked at what we call libido and said, it's not just sex, it's not just reproduction, it's psychic energy, life force that wants to grow you, evolve you, and push you toward wholeness. He noticed that when we repress this energy, when we shove it into the shadow, it doesn't disappear. It mutates. It turns into obsession, addiction fantasies that control you, self-sabotage in your relationships, weird leaks in your personality you don't even understand. But when we face it, honor it, and work with it, it becomes a bridge to our higher self. This is the third component, spiritualization of desire. Seeing your sexual energy not as something dirty to kill, but as something sacred to consecrate. What does that look like in real life? 1. Witness instead of judging. The next time your desire spikes, try this. Don't sprint to tame it. Don't sprint to indulge it. Just sit. Close your eyes for a moment and notice. My chest is tight, my breath is shallow, my mind is pulling up images. My lower body is tingling. That's your life force knocking, Jung would say. This is your unconscious trying to talk. You don't have to obey it. You also don't have to hate it. You simply watch it. 2. Ask what it's really pointing to. Underneath the urge, ask, am I lonely right now? Do I feel powerless in some area of my life? Do I feel creatively blocked? Am I craving validation, not just sex? Often your sexual urge is a symbol. It's your psyche saying you are not living as fully as you know you could. The body screams sex because it doesn't know how to say in words. I want more aliveness, more connection, more purpose. 3. Offer it upward. Spiritualization means you give this energy to something higher than your impulses. That might be God, your future self. You're calling your role as a father, leader, builder. You literally say in your own language, I offer this energy to my highest path. Use it to make me stronger, clearer, more loving, more disciplined. That's not corny. That's you telling your nervous system, we're not animals down here. We're kings learning to rule our own kingdom. And speaking of the nervous system, this is the gateway to manifestation, alignment, riches, and transformation. Too much to fit into this video, but I will save this for another conversation. 4. Integrate. Don't exile. Jung talked about individuation, becoming whole by integrating the parts of you that you've disowned. Your desire is one of those parts. You don't become strong by pretending you're above sex. You become strong by acknowledging, yes, I am a man of deep desire, and I choose what that desire serves. Now, your sexual energy isn't a demon you're wrestling at 2 a.m. It's a dragon you're learning to ride. You still might choose to have sex. You still might choose to release. But it's chosen, not compulsive, aligned, not sloppy. Integrated, not hidden. Bringing it all together. So let's put this in your bones. There is a live wire under your skin. You've felt it 1,000 times. Most of the time, it's cost you time, focus, self-respect, sometimes even relationships, but it doesn't have to. Component 1, contain the seed. Learn to hold the energy, delay the release. Let the battery fill instead of leaking out at the first sign of discomfort. Component 2, aim it at a mission. Don't just retain. Direct that power into something meaningful. Your body, your craft, your money, your impact. Let your will to meaning pull your sexual energy upward. Component 3. Spiritualize the desire. See this energy as sacred life force, not filth. Listen to what it's really saying. Offer it to your highest self and integrate it into who you're becoming. When those three come together, something shifts. You're no longer the guy who says, I couldn't help it. You become the man who says, I chose what my energy built today. And here's the truth. The world is full of men who can't control themselves for 15 minutes. The world rewards the men who can control themselves for 15 months while building a body, a business, a purpose, and a peaceful soul. Sexual transmutation isn't about being perfect. It's not about never falling. It's about this. Every time you feel that live wire wake up inside you, you remember, this is my power. I will not waste it. I will not worship it. I will wield it. And from that moment on, your desire stops being the thing that ruins you and starts being the force that raises you.